Welcome back, guys, to some of my favorite days. My name is Corey, and we live on 9 acres out in the middle of nowhere in Montana. I like to do week in the life vlogs, and we are finishing up the Three Rivers Challenge, so come along. I have been working on this broth back here for a couple days. I first pulled out the turkey carcass from the freezer and made some turkey broth. And then I cooked our T-bones in the broth and shredded those down for dinners. But I put the bones back in to the broth, so now I'm making turkey/beef broth. I'm going to add in these veggie scraps. We have the flu going around school, and my son has an away basketball game tonight. So I'm going to assume he's bringing the flu back with him. Half the team is out with it already. So I'm gonna make up this super broth, and I think for dinner tonight, I'm gonna make a mac and cheese. I have some leftover ham and some frozen broccoli, so I think I'm gonna make homemade mac and cheese with the broth, and then make it into like a cheesy casserole, ham, broccoli type thing. I know it'll get eaten up, that way I'm getting this super broth into everybody. I started a half batch of bagel dough, and when I wasn't in the room, the dough's really hard on the machine, which is why we got another machine. But it ripped out of the wall, broke the lid off, threw the dough out. Here's the thing. I went ahead and just took the dough that was still good and put it in a bowl to rise, but good thing we got another one. With all the snow we've been getting, we had to shovel the weight off the chicken coop, and there wasn't a lot of options, so it ended up here on the path to the dog kennel. And then the overhang that I showed you guys last week came crashing down, which was fine. We all knew it was going to, but I have to reshovel a path to the chicken coop and dig the door out and do all those maintenance things that you have to do when you get way more snow than you're expecting. Are you gonna go? Nice. Day 29 of the challenge. I made up a small batch of bagel dough. I'm gonna go ahead and boil that up. I pulled some more things out of the freezer. This is a loaf of bread from my mother-in-law. Some more cheese so that I can finish dinner tonight. I went ahead and pulled out a flank steak from 22. And then this bag I showed you guys, I brought it in. I found out that it is deer scrap, normally that we put into sausage, and the bag is ripped. That's why it's in this. But I think it's getting a little freezer burnt. I'm gonna go ahead and thaw it, and we will make up some jerky in the smoker. So today I went downstairs. We've got this squash that needs to start being cooked up. It's starting to get a little, time to get used up. And then I'm working on that bag of meat over here. I've got our marinade going. I just need to slice the meat up into smaller strips for the smoker so that it doesn't take so long to cook the jerky through. And so we're working on that. I don't normally plan dinners. I like to cook just on the fly, but this curry is one that I planned on making during the challenge. I figured the vegetables that went into it were long-term vegetables, and it was a good veggie dish to have at the end of the month. I'm frying up all the spices for the curry in some oil and then adding the onion to the pan to deglaze it a little bit, and I will be adding all of this into the crock pot with the veggies and some homemade broth. Everybody really likes this dish, and we all agree that it's better the next day. After all the veggies are in, I add in this can of tomatoes. I rinsed the red lentils through a fine mesh strainer that we have, and I'm going to add in the homemade broth just until I think it's enough. I didn't measure out these lentils. It was just all I had left in the pantry, but if I did it again, I would probably want more lentils in this. So I have to admit I did not get a finished shot of this curry before we ate it. I also didn't show you that I put garlic and some lime in it. Day 31 of the challenge, and I had to use up the very last of my free points. They expired today, so I grabbed a couple salad mixes because I'm totally craving that, some condensed soup I can use in a dinner, and a couple bananas for the baby. All right, day 31 of our challenge, and this is an old pie crust that needs to get used up out of the freezer, and then I have this shredded up beef here to use up. I also got a bunch of these from Costco and we are not eating through them, so I went ahead and pulled out some mixed vegetables and some brown gravy out of the cupboard. I'm gonna make like a makeshift throw together type beef pot pie tonight. All right, last dinner of January, and I'm going to throw this already cooked beef into the pan and get it sauteing. I'm going to mix in some frozen vegetables and gravy mix, and then let that all come to a boil with the homemade broth. And while I have all of this going, I have one of those pie crusts pre-baking in the oven so that it doesn't get too soggy when I put all of this mixture into it. And once I let the broth and gravy mix boil in the pan, it'll start to thicken and continue to thicken while it's in the oven. I also opened up that little carton of hash browns and added boiling water to the package and then closed it up so that the potatoes would rehydrate in the box. Next, I'm ever so gently putting the other pie crust on the top and making it look as pretty as I can with no experience and throwing that into the oven. Okay guys, we decided to do one big haul and then do another month of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. It was not as hard as I thought I was going to struggle, so we decided to do another month. So I'm going to walk through this with you guys real quick, what we got. A lot of Monsters, I drink a lot of Monsters, and some snack chips back there. A little bit of sparkling water, even though you can see our sparkling water machine that's been working great for us back there. I got a big bag of potatoes and 2 cases, there's one under this, of diced tomatoes to stock back up. They were having a good sale, 79 cents. So I grabbed some of those. I got a couple cans of olives. Me and my daughter really like them. Raisins for the boy. I'm gonna try and have some different kinds of snacks this month since we went through, repetitive things last month. I grabbed some more multi-surface. I had to make some at the end of the month because I ran out, but I just grabbed some more. It was no big deal, really. We got all these condiments here. We ran out of condiments, and we also eat a lot of condiments. So there's organic tomato ketchup back here that I stock up on, so we stocked up on that. And this is some organic soy milk for one of my boys. And then other than that, it's all just condiments that we like. Some we ran out of, some we don't want to run out of. And then, just like some coconut milk, another can of olives. This is for animal food. You guys have seen me make dog food, so I had to make sure I didn't run out of that. More just chips and pretzels, something different for us. Some random tomatoes on this side that need to be with the produce. More chips, toilet paper. We've got crackers. I wanted to get some different stuff. I did go through and get deals that I used to get just on this one trip. I'm used to going every time there's a deal. I just quickly went through and found what I could this time for this shopping trip. These are for pizza ingredients, and I also want to do a charcuterie board for football for my husband. He likes that. I have a couple meal ideas, and then just a stock up here. Salsa, a lemonade drink mix so that I can have stuff in the fridge for the kids. We got a couple packs of chicken here. We're looking to source some chicken, but I want to make a couple recipes that I'm thinking of, and a couple extra packs of bacon like I did last month. We grabbed yogurt, another one of these I'm going to throw in the freezer just for treats. Cottage cheese and sour cream to stock up more yogurts. We got a deal on ice cream, so I'm gonna hide a bunch of these in the freezer for treats this month. Cheese, I got a decent deal. It was okay on cheese, but I just stocked up a little bit just for this month. Some rice crackers, more pepperoni to throw in the freezer for homemade pizzas. This, just in case, these are Mom's, I'm gonna hide them in my room. Couple extra ramens to make it through, and chocolate chips just in case, in order to make our treats again this month. And then we stocked up on like a bunch of gravy mixes. I needed more pumpkin pie spice, fish taco seasoning. I got 2 of these to make it through. We got a couple pizzas just to eat when we're eating tonight. Here is a bunch of produce I got, some more chips I'm gonna stash from the kids so we can make it all month. Here's some more produce that I got. I'm hoping that we can make it quite a ways through the month with this, if I can make it last. And a gallon of milk. We're gonna need another one. My husband's gonna grab another one. And that's it. That's our... Oh, it came out to $525, which is way less than I normally spend in a month for a family of 5. All meals and treats for my husband and my toddler and me, and then the other 2. They get to go out and get their own stuff every once in a while when they want it. I'm making a homemade marinade for this flank steak I pulled out. have an old busted up reduced box of brownie mix, so we're gonna go ahead and use that up out of the pantry tonight. I'm gonna chop these up to just bulk it up a little bit more, and the walnuts will get a little more nutrition. We decided to add these in too and make them super brownies. I have to show you guys how good this looks. I haven't mixed it yet. Oh my gosh, that looks so yummy. I can't wait. So I must have lost a clip of video somewhere, but I had a package of chicken legs that I cooked in the oven, and then we pulled the meat from it and made these little sliders. I'm now adding the chicken bones into the crock pot to make homemade broth again. So I tried another half a bagel dough recipe. You can see it's still wanting to wobble off the counter, but it's working. The lid is still broken, but I think the lid is just on there for humidity for rising, so that still works. It's working so far. Poor little thing. This applesauce was a beautiful texture. This is the only scrap that's left behind, and that goes to the chickens. And then the boys have been sick, so this was their snack today. I dished them both up. It actually turned out great. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching my videos, and I will see you guys next week with tons more food.